Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me this wonderful evening. I am Smart Pig. Welcome to Mournable Gaming. It is Tuesday night, and that means I am on my own, and we're back on the moon. I'm double checking what we managed to finish last time. I believe I got this guy running. I did, yes. All right. So, last time, we got this place turned into a hovel. It is a hovel. It is the final stage of the hovel, but it's the hovel. And from here, we can actually start building. Like, really building the actual base. So, that being said, let us do a little bit sketch out of what it is we are getting ready to do. So I always start my base with atmospherics. That is the filtration of gases, processing, building up what we need to breathe and live. We could very easily live off of what we have here for quite a while, but eventually we're going to need a lot more in order for us to do the things that we want to do. But what we're getting ready to build is just the basics, the stuff we need to keep atmosphere in the base going, as well as potentially mixing fuel and things like that for furnaces and the like. So yeah, we need, I believe, I still do have a lingering cough, so bear with me. Yes? Why? Yeah, no, that's fine. Yep. Sorry, that was an aside. Zach had, Z had things to say to me. You should be sorry, and you should feel bad.
I will go downstairs, flagellate myself while repeating the catechism until I bleed from my eyes.
Make sure it's a cat of nine tails.
It will be.
Alright. As I was saying, the base is going to be base 5x5. The next room is going to be 5, and I like having a nice good number to use, because there's plenty of space in a 5x5 room to build a good number of things, until you get up to, the automation of collecting ores and things like that. So, we need 5x5 of worth of steel. We're going to use steel because ultimately it's cheaper and it looks better. So, we have steel here somewhere. I just don't know where. There it is. We only have 16 grams of steel left over after the things that we've built. Right, because we built a bunch of... Okay, so we're going to go get what we need for steel. So we need at least 3 bits of iron and a stack of coal. And then when we come back, we're going to build a room to expand into so that, it doesn't look like a bomb went off in here. It's thriving. Good. We're going to need that. And the sun just went down. Dang it. Okay, so let's see what our battery is. 68%, good to go there. 22%. Okay, let us... Actually, see, we've got... There we go. We're gonna swap you out right there. Perfect. Make sure I can actually see if somebody says anything to me. All right. So we're gonna go. We're in a big crater. Oh, hey, look, iron. Aha. What you see. You must actually be wearing the belt for it to perform its function. Still just 2 stacks. We're actually going to collect enough for 2 stacks of steel. Because I actually have no idea how much we're actually going to end up using. And we also want some silicon. We want some silicon. For pipes and whatnot. Insulated pipes. There will be some insulated pipes. Ah. Alright. This way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a little bit more iron, and then we need coal. And then we'll need silicon, because we want silicon. Nitrice, we will need you soon-ish, sort of. So the plan is while you can absolutely completely pressurize your base with oxygen, that's a lot of oxygen. And you don't need that much oxygen in the grand scheme of things when it comes to breathing and taking care of plants and whatnot. You could very easily fill your base with oxygen and just filter out the carbon dioxide. Or you can have a greenhouse that's, taking care of your carbon dioxide for you. But I try to operate on a little bit more strict rules of too much oxygen will cause oxygen toxicity in your blood, and that can kill you. So we're going to model our base atmosphere after, Earth oxygen or levels, where we've got roughly 20% oxygen, 2, less than 1% of carbon dioxide, really, and about 70% of that is nitrogen. So we will need the nitrogen. Just not yet. A little bit more of you. Gimme. One more. There we go. Okay, that's all of the iron that we want. We're just going to leave that where it is. We don't have the room to be carrying and harvesting all of that. So now we're going to look for the coal. But hey, look at that. We need silicon, and there's some right here. Try not to grab any of the oxide, because that just takes up room that we don't have. Ultimately, I'd like to have about 2 stacks of the silicon, because you use a lot. You use a lot of silicon when you're building a insulated pipe network. It's a lot more than you realize. Plus, we're going to need plastic sheets and glass and all that. So what I intend to do, potentially, is... Well, I've thought about it, at least. I might do the roof. Jump space has sure changed since I last played. Oh, wow. It didn't update. Look at that. That's frustrating. Done. There. Thanks for letting me know, Hale. Like, I swear, I set it up before I hit stream, and it did not take for some reason. Let it be known that I am not a professional streamer. Just don't hate. We've got about 3 stacks. There we go. Now let's find that coal. Power low. It's about 50%. Just need the coal now. You know, I keep saying that I shouldn't mine at night because mining at night is a pain in the ass because you can't see very far, so you end up walking by the shit you want, and yet I still invariably find myself mining at night quite often, and I don't know why. In fact, I find myself mining at night more often than mining during the day. It's like I'm cursed or something. Even more so is like, why is it that whenever you're looking for something specific, it's very rare that you find it quickly? Now, part of that is definitely, that's nickel. I don't need nickel right now. Part of that is on me for just not remembering in which direction I saw what it is that I'm looking for most recently. Ha, no. It just looked black to my old, tired eyes. There's a cat making noises again. But yes, just need coal now. Well, hey, more iron. I don't have any room for. We're gonna fix that eventually. In fact, perfect. Let's see if we can get all the coal we need. Now, eventually, we'll have it set up so that we don't have to do any mining for ores. We might have to do mining for ice for a little bit, but we won't have to do any mining for ores. And then eventually we won't have to mine for ice either because we'll have rockets for that. We have... See? What did I tell you? We walked right by that. We walked right by that coal. Just need a little bit more. 13 more pieces. Is this gonna... Well, I would have been mad if this is... would have found in the dark. There's just not a whole lot there. And... done. Okay. No. Don't have room for it. Alright. And... base is that way. There it is. There's the eclipse. And there's the sun. Hunger, caution. We're fine. We don't need to eat yet. And you are empty. Close you. We're going to be safe and toss you in there because I have thrown those in these freaking things before. It's stupid. So, one of you. Two of you. Nice and hot. And then we'll preload you because you're what's going to cause the pressure to spike and the temperature to fall. Still going up. Okay. 1. 2. 3. Temperature is still... nah, there it goes. Yep. Whoops. Waited too long on that. There we go. That's the first batch. And the temperature fell again. There's the second batch, and then silicon does not have a whole lot of gas in it. That freaking coal has a lot of gas in it. A lot of carbon dioxide. There it is. Alright, we're going to start with the foundations. So we need 30 foundations because of the power spine going along the base. Steel frames. So we'll need 30 of those and 60 sheets. 2 sheets makes a solid frame. That's going to be a little bit of a while. So, we're going to build a room of equal size to this with the... Well, if I think about it. Yeah, we're going to make a room equal size of this with the frames going along the top so that we can put 5 more solar panels up there when they are needed. And then we're going to... Why did I toss you over there? I don't want you over there. I want you there. You, sir, need to go over here so you're out of the freaking way. The room will have 4 entrances to it. So we'll start off with manual doors, welded shut, of course, and we will branch out from there. One room will be the growing room. It'll be the greenhouse. One room will be the manufacturing room where we'll have all of the printers moved to. And then another room, I'm not sure yet, most likely is going to be a living quarters where food is taken care of, as well as sleeper spots and maybe a cryo tube if we get that far. Yeah, we should be able to get that far. They've made some changes to cryotube. For the cryogenic suit upgrade. Anyways, cryotube is supplied super-cooled liquid nitrogen. Occupants will regenerate organs and even revive if deceased. Nothing can be worn when entering the device. The exact operation along... Anyways, so we have to supply it with super-cooled liquid nitrogen. Which means we're going to have to... super cool liquid nitrogen. Now, like I said, we might not get to that point. I'm going to pause that so that we don't overmake the frames. We'll just click on that and that'll take us... So, like, form. So in order for it to be a liquid, we have to have... It has to be really cold. It's like a sufficiently high pressure and cold, 132 Kelvin. I don't know the math off the top of my head, but that's freaking cold. So yeah, we might not get to that point. However, if you're going to be running a multiplayer session and you don't want hundreds of skulls from people dying when they go offline, then yeah, you might want to have sleeper. That's all the frames that we need. Steel sheets. Yeah, I've got one of your skulls, Hale, in my other, on my other map. And I had completely forgotten about it until you logged off, and I was like, oh, wait. Oh, well, I have a skull decoration now. Continuing to use... Alright. While that's going, our potatoes are doing well. We're gonna eat a cereal bar. Still got plenty of those. Not anymore. So yeah, in multiplayer maps, whenever someone logs off, their body still continues to need food and oxygen and stuff. So if they log off while still in a suit, and that suit runs out of oxygen, well, they suffocate. So if you want them to log off and not have to worry about respawning entirely, then you build sleepers, basically. And then sleeper will be hydrated and well fed while they are logged out, as long as a breathable atmosphere is provided. So we have to provide them with a breathable atmosphere, as in oxygen. And yeah, it's wild. It's cool. I like it. I like the idea of it. But you know, your dude freaking starves to death in like less than an hour. So it's a bit of a challenge. However, you put them in a sleeper cell and they're good for a little while. Not forever, mind you, but a little while. So they can take off for a couple of days. Now, if you put them in a cryo tube, they're good for forever. As long as that cryo tube is supplied with liquid nitrogen. We only need 11 more of these. It is a way to... You can have people join and you get free spacesuits out of it if they never come back. Alright, so we are good to go there. We have our frames, we have our sheets. Let's go take care of this. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 5, 2, 3, 5. Right. Let's see if we can get all these sheets done without running out of fuel in this guy. Nope. That's what we have this for. All right, as soon as we can afford to do it, we'll switch over to an electric welder. We'll make and switch over to an electric welder. But I need a Mark II, not a Mark I. Mark I's just, I feel like they eat through so much power. I believe the biggest difference between the tools Mark I and Mark II is the speed at which they work. And the power that they use. But if they work faster, they use less power anyways. We want to do all of our welding with this torch while there is no walls or atmosphere. Because this torch produces pollutant in the atmosphere. We don't like that. It's bad for us. It's bad for our plants, too. Oops. Alright, we're going to do the doors next. We want one here, and one here. Yes? So 3 doors. Whee! Overshot. Alright, door kit. We need iron and copper. There's some copper here. And I saw iron earlier. Where is it? Is it in the airlock? No, it's by the airlock, though. Duh. One. 2. 3. And if I remember right, manual door. Oh, sorry. Airlock. Manual hatch. Kit and an iron sheet. So we need some iron sheets. I believe I've got... Yep, I got sheets right there. Perfect. Alright, now these doors are just to make it easier for floor hatch, manual hatch. Easier for later. I put that in the wrong spot. Let's go ahead and take care of it. Hand drill. I don't know why I thought I needed the... We're going to weld them shut so they don't accidentally get opened. Is my battery dead? My battery is dead. Okay, we're gonna go back.
Oxygen low.
Yes, oxygen is low.
Oxygen critical.
There we go.
Power critical.
I didn't even hear it when it told me the power was critical. Alright, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, minus 3, 32. We need 32 flat walls. Flat walls. And we'll need 32 more sheets of steel. So right now, that battery is big enough to last the whole night and have surplus. So if we have all three of our current printers running, there's enough there that there's enough battery there that it'll still give us power until the sun comes up. And we have enough solar panels to fully charge the battery before the sun goes back down. What we need to do is we need to make sure that we keep on top of that. Not only do we need enough solar panels to charge the batteries, but we need enough batteries to last through the night. As the base gets bigger, the power draw grows with it. Here's 20. See, we're down to 84 grams of steel. Reason why we made 2 bars. 2 more. Now we need the sheets. Batteries at yellow. eventually we're going to have a setup that will allow us to select what we want, set at a counter, and then walk away from it. That's not for a little while yet. That's once we have a printer room set up. Alright, battery is blue, fully charged. Perfect, perfect. Alright. Okay, so when I'm building these walls, I put them on the cell farthest, the cell adjacent to the one I'm standing on. That way, the plate is on the outside, and I can run wires inside. Just like I did when I built originally. It kind of sucks having to run all the wires and stuff in your walls in a spacesuit when you technically don't have to, if you just build it right. There it is. I knew I was missing one. Okay, so something to keep in mind. This room is the exact same size as that room. So if we just open that wall, we will cut our atmosphere in that room in half. So we will have half the pressure. If you are growing plants that are sensitive to pressure, you want to be cognizant of that. So what we're going to do, first, we're going to give this room at least some atmosphere so that there's a temperature. And then we're going to take this guy and just drop him on the floor, so that there's at least something in here. Because remember, we're growing potatoes right now. And their pressure minimum is 25 kilopascals. Ideal is 50. Minimum ideal. So we want our pressure to be in the ideal range. So right now it's 17 kilopascals in here. So that's better than nothing. Crowbar. Hello, extra space. Just like that, we have 2 rooms in the base. we want to first expend our power spine. Straight ahead. So we need, what's in you? Gold and copper, okay. We need heavy cable. Just gonna let that run for a bit. And an area power control. Oops.
Hydration.
Solder there. We're gonna give ourselves a drinky drink. Alright, so it is a very good idea for you to set up an area power controller for each of your rooms. Gives you two things. One, it gives you full control of the power in that room without interrupting power to anywhere else. It also gives you a little bit of backup power for a short period of time if the main power goes out. So you need to know where you're going to put that area power controller. It's a good idea to just standardize it. Like every single time you walk into a room, the area power controller is going to be to your left or to your right. Because this is the central hub, that's going to be a little bit trickier, but main entrance to a room, left side, area power controller. That way, in cases of emergencies, you can shut off non-critical systems. And I need 1, 2, 3 more. Oops. And we need a large battery. Oh, I'd love to have some of them. Steel. Duh. I just print out one of those because we're going to need, how much copper do we got? 35 grams of copper in there. We're just going to print out 2 of these. One for the APC. One as a spare for the suit. Okay. So I like to have my high voltage on the ceiling, my low voltage, well, I separate them from high voltage, low voltage, but what it really is heavy watt cable on the ceiling, and then regular cable on the floor. That way I don't accidentally mix up things. It's just easier that way. So we're going to down and stub out. There we go. That's power for the room. You can also do this with a transformer to limit how much power is going into a room or being used. Area power controllers have, well, they have a draw, and that draw doesn't change. It is whatever is in the room is drawing.
Hunger caution.
There's things in regards to it. Let's see. 1. Transformers. Transformers control the maximum power that will flow down a cable subnetwork to prevent overloading electrical systems. Output on small transformers can be set from 0 to 5,000 watts. Note that transformers operates as data isolators, preventing data flowing into any network beyond it. So, they do draw a specific amount of power, though. So if you set this transformer to 1500 watts, it will always draw 1500 watts. That has been my experience with them in the game. So I try not to use them when I don't need to. But if I needed to have a low voltage power going into a sub-network off of the main line rather than going through an area power controller, I would use a transformer. Such as for lights and things like that. So if I wanted to set up a light network in here, and I didn't want that light network drawing from my area power controller, I could put a transformer right above it and then have that do the lights. If and I so was inclined to do, which I'm thinking I am. We might experiment with that a little bit. So I don't want the lights drawn directly from the main line. The difficulty comes in is like having a single wire running down the center of the base makes it difficult for you to have wires crisscrossing. So we're probably going to end up with a transformer here and a transformer here, one for one side of the lights, one for the other side of lights. And then we can control the lights from the transformers. Something to think about. Anyways, this room is going to be a atmospherics room. So walk in, left, right, atmospherics, left, right, atmospherics. So we have a certain number of gases. The gases. So we have oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, volatiles, pollutant, and nitrous oxide. And that's it. Don't ignore that. That's not something to think about. In this atmospheric circuit, there will be no volatiles. Without volatiles, you can't have combustion. Volatiles are the only combustible gas. Nitrous oxide is an oxidizer. Oxygen is an oxidizer. You can have volatiles and carbon dioxide mix and you don't have problems. You can have volatiles and nitrogen mix and you don't have problems. But as soon as you have nitrous oxide and volatiles, you've got a potential problem. Now, it's got to go over the auto-ignition temperature in order for it to ignite, but volatiles mixed with oxygen or nitrous oxide is a problem, and it can cause a very big problem in a very short amount of time. So in this network, we're not going to have volatiles. We're also not going to be storing, at least at this point in time, any pollutant. What we want is nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide. I'm not storing nitrous oxide at the moment. There's no point. I can't really make use of it. There's not enough nitrous oxide in the nitrice for it to be worth storing, like at all. So we want oxygen. That's one atmospheric skit. Nitrogen. That's an atmospheric skit. Carbon dioxide. That's an atmospheric kit. And then we want to get rid of anything else. So that would be a fourth atmospheric kit that does both pollutant and nitrous oxide at the same time. That will vent directly outside. Because we don't want pollutant right now. We don't want nitrous oxide right now. Once the base is up to a certain level, we will want to be like storing the pollutant and the nitrous oxide because they are useful later down the line. Let's see. So we need atmospherics. We need several tanks. One for oxygen, one for nitrogen, one for carbon dioxide. We need... So that's 3 tanks and several pumps. You get out of the way for now. Atmospherics. Iron, gold, copper. We need 4 of those. Hello, copper. We need more iron in there. You... That's a stack of 50 there. So we need 4 of these. And we have seeds. So these guys are ready to get harvested. Here we go, and toss that right there. There's 1.
Hunger critical.
2, hunger critical. Go ahead and eat a cereal bar really quick. Are we on water? We still have about 40 liters of water. We're fine. Alright. One more. So I'm going to put... Haven't figured out how I'm going to lay this out yet. Okay. So, we need 4 tanks. And that requires steel. Where did I put the other bar of steel? There it is. And we're going to need more copper in there. Now, I'm not going to use insulated tanks with these because they're going to be pretty much kept at the same temperature as atmosphere because the main purpose of these tanks is atmosphere. I don't really... It's kind of a wasted effort to try and heat or cool it to a temperature above or below the atmosphere because it is your atmosphere. Now, if we were building a huge bank of tanks and whatnot, and we were storing them outside and things like that, then yeah, we'd want to have insulated tanks. That way they wouldn't interact thermally with the atmosphere or lack thereof outside. Okay, so we're gonna have... Thinking we'll put the waste tank here. As not the waste tank, but the mixed gas tank here. We'll put the oxygen tank here. And then I would actually say, yeah, we'll put the nitrogen and carbon dioxide there. So... mixed gas tank is going to be here, and that will start our little process. We're going to actually start our process over here just to make things simple. Filtration. I want to move that a little bit further back. Hand drill does not have a battery in it because I'm a dumbass. There. There. And there. Yes. Let us just verify. We need a volume pump. Make sure we have enough room. Okay, so. Not enough room. Okay. So let's rethink this. Here. I feel like that is exactly where I just put it. There. That one will be weird. Okay, let us start with the pipes. We need pipes. Okay, so the way this is going to work is we're going to have a mixed gas network that all of the filtrations pull from. And that mixed gas network will pump into the filtration and then out of the filtration. Start with that. So the way it works. Should probably have my wrench in my hand. That goes there. Okay. Figure that out there. Try and... So these filtration units, all atmospheric units actually, work based off of pressure. So it works faster. It filters more per operational tick if you have a higher pressure here and a lower pressure here and here. So, it's still not far enough. So we need a pump here. We need a pump here. We do not need a pump on this side, though. As long as there is a lower pressure here, as long as there's a lower pressure here and here than there is here, it will move quickly, and you'll end up using less power. So, that's basically, we're going to have a volume pump here, and we're going to have a volume pump here. And the same thing with this guy. It's very close. Ugh, using a wrench in this room when I'm just sitting on top of naked frames makes me nervous. More pipes. We're going to need more iron. Just going to let that run. No. You could do it, set it up that way too. I'm wondering if I might not be doing this a little bit inefficiently. Running it this way. We don't need it to be a big circle of pipes. And in fact, this one is different from the others anyways. Because this is the waste pipe. Here are mixed gas. See that? That almost cost us atmosphere. Power critical. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. And then running out of iron. Okay. There's you. You. Worry about you later. You're all hooked up. Okay. Then... there. Now, we need... where's the silicon? Silicon... ah, crap. I did dumb. Did a big dumb. Nothing for it but to bite the bullet and go. Okay. I forgot to close this door. Alright, now we want insulated. So we're going to keep our ice crushers outside. In fact, now that I think about it, it might be better for this to be our waste tank. Nah, it's fine. Okay. So, about that height. Hang on. Yep, we'll do that. So this is going to be... stuff from outside. Just so that we know where blah. Just so we know where everything's going to be. We're also going to go ahead and stub out the liquid pipe. Insulated liquid pipe. There. Ah, there it is.
Hydration critical.
There we go. Hydration's critical again. That is for the future. So ice crusher is going to be on the other side of this wall. Gases will come in through here. Water will come in through here. Growing poorly is because our atmosphere is low. And then... pipe. Just the regular ones. Steel and silicon are more precious than iron. So use regular pipes where you can. Ices will come in here. Waste will come up through here. Hmm. Hmm. We're going to have that run along the backside, actually. There's going to be another wall on the other side of this. Eventually, it'll be fine for now. Go, and then we'll run the liquids along over here. We're going to be putting that on the other side of this room. Is going to be the growing room, because it'll get sun the entire day. Yes. Put a pump there. No, we can't put a pump right there, because then the wire will go hit the tank. So let us... put the pump there. That way there won't be any wire interference. Okay. I think we're squared away on that, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pipes for now.
Caution.
We need 7 more pipes. For now. We're going to be going out and getting more materials before we finish this room. Okay. So, the way this is going to work is we're going to have a pump here and a pump here and a chip. Pump 1 is going to be tied to D0. Pump 2 is going to be tied to D1.
Filter low.
And then we will have an indicator up here or over here or somewhere close by to tell us when this guy needs the filters changed. Probably all of them are going to be on 1, 2, 3, 4. We can put all 4 diodes probably on that wall there, I think. We'll figure that out later. Diodes aren't important. That's more of a luxury than a necessity. But basically, the chip that goes in here is going to control this pump and its related accessories. Do we need the pumps? No, but overall it will end up using less power in the long scheme of things. Because the faster you cycle through the gases, the less time it runs, the less power it ends up using. So if you don't have a pump here and here, you end up using more power over time anyways, because it takes that much longer for it to run. Pumps are very power hungry, though, so user beware. So we need 2, 4, 5, 6 pumps. I don't think we have enough iron for 6 pumps. We do not have enough iron in there, at least. We have enough iron in there, though. Three. 4. 5. 6. So one there. Damn it. That's going to be a problem. Shit. Alright, let's see if we can't reconfigure this. Oh, hand drill. There you are.
Filter low.
There we go. I feel like that ended ended up using more pipes. Damn it. So I did have an efficient pipe layout. It just wasn't gonna work because the wires got in the way. Which is my biggest frustration with this game, is the wires being how they are. Like, I like being able to having to run wire. At the same time, though, I hate that they hate that you can't. Anyways, it can get annoying trying to balance.
Hunger critical.
There we go. All right, let's finish getting this all set. Getting all this set up. That was the goal for this evening, is to get this started at least, and get at least a good portion of it taken care of. Did I miscount? We don't. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, I did miscount. I did miscount. Or did I? I technically don't need a pump here because this is going to be open to vacuum. Oh well. There's you. And you. And it's fine. You can go there.
Power low.
Okay. Stuff you out there. One, two, three, 4 more pipes. We're gonna leave that like that for now. Okay, we're gonna need an ass load of cable. 11 grams, 26 grams. That's good. That'll give us a stack of cable. Okay. Sun came up. Let's go get some materials. We want iron. We want copper. And I feel like we're going to need gold, too. There's a bunch of iron right there. Before we go too much further, turn around. Temperature's at 434 Kelvin. We're going to just let that vent. That's a lot of gas to heat up. Here's the iron. It would be help if I was wearing the correct belt. Hey, look, there's gold. Iron and gold in the same spot. Cool. That simplifies things.
Air tank low.
Air tank low. Well, that's annoying. Let's get these last bits of gold. We'll be okay. This is a big node for gold. Big dang freaking vein of gold. It's a one-stop shop for the gold. I think that's it, though. Alright, let's go get our oxygen refilled. And then we'll try and find ourselves the copper that we need before the sun goes down. Because I'm getting tired of hunting for materials at night.
Air tank critical.
When did they change that? When did that happen? Didn't used to be able to do that. That's kind of cool. This is completely useless at this point, but aside from filling it up... That's news to me. Oops. Silicon. Iron. Water ice. More gold over there. I think we're good on gold. Is that copper there? I have a feeling it's gold. Yeah, that's gold. There's copper. See, that didn't take very long at all. Because of the sun.
Hydration critical.
I feel like I just drank, too. It's alright. We're close to base. Mine out this vein. Try to, at least. I think that's all of it. Oh, there's some. Look at that. Mined. We need ox ice. Damn it. We could just run the dang electric arc furnace and be fine, but that would be annoying. That would take forever. The one of the advantages of the regular furnace is it's fast. That's water ice. Oh, there's some ox ice. See about grabbing 2 stacks. Railroads pressure up in the base too. Come on, I know there's more. Don't tell me there's not. There we go. There we go, that's 2 stacks. No more room. Get in there. Okay. We're going to close the valve. We're going to close you. Turn our light on because we're about to lose the sun. To you. you. Nice and hot. Stack of iron. And we're dehydrating now. Okay, and we're gonna just drop that stack on the floor. Now, this wired up. Feel like that. Use more cable than I want. Come on, figure out the one that. Mm, 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 mm. More worried about You. You. You're plugged in. 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 Everything's plugged in. I believe I'm going to need more wire because I need a pipe analyzer here. I feel like I'm going to need 2 pipe analyzers, actually. Okay. So, we've got the pipes laid. We've got the machines set. Excuse me. We've got the tanks. We're stubbed out the wall for the ice crusher. We're stubbed out the roof for the pipe cowl. Thinking. So what we're gonna do. What we've got left to do is setting the ice crusher, printing out the chips and the filters, programming the chips, I think we're going to need one more volume pump. Yeah, I think we're going to need one more. Because we want to pump... There you are. We want to pump from the space into the mixed. Yep, we're going to need pipe analyzer and then a room sensor, a gas sensor. So we need 5, we're going to need 5 chips, a housing, pipe analyzer, gas sensor. Yes. Yes? Yes. But we will worry about that next week. For now, we have taken our hovel. And we've made it livable. We've taken our hovel, we've made it much more livable. We've expanded into the first of the rest of the base. The only space that truly needs to be centralized, because this is where our oxygen is going to go. Well, this is where our atmospheric surge is going to go, and that's going to supply every single room from here on. Now, again, we're only going to have 1, 2, 3 more rooms built into this place. And then an expanded airlock. Or we could do 2 rooms if we wanted to. No, 3 more rooms. Expanded living area. Like medical bay and sleeping quarters, all that. Hydroponics. and then printer room. And then once we've got the printer room built, and the expanded hydroponics and the living quarters, once we've got the freaking 3 rooms actually built, we don't have to like expand them out. The only thing I'm gonna do after I've got the atmospherics in here for now is get the printer room, because this will keep us fed just fine. We'll put a refrigerator in here and a microwave, and then we can just feed ourselves off of potatoes forever. Okay? So, once we have the atmospheric set, we'll build the printer room, and then we'll start working on our refining. Namely, we'll start on the advanced furnace setup, which is complicated. I'm still tweaking the programming on my automated furnace controls and my other save. Doing pretty good on that, actually. I think I've got about where I want it to be. But again, it's complicated. So anyways, until next time, tomorrow night, we'll all be back together because it's Wednesday night. We are planning on doing a Rogue Trader co-op stream because we all like Rogue Trader. It's a lot of fun. And then we'll be back again on Saturday. Don't know what we're doing on Saturday yet. No, I'm sorry. Friday. We've moved our Saturday stream to Friday because, well, some of us need a little bit more flexibility on the weekends now. And, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you and goodbye.